your weekly podcast for PlayStation Trophy Hunters, episode number 36. I'm one of your hosts, the Dazil, and joining me today we have the Vectronic.
Hello.
And with us making his Trophy Trust podcast debut, we have Unknown.
Hello.
So, for people who don't know Unknown, would you like to just take a few moments to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
All right. I guess I've been trophy hunting since like 2011. Trying to pretty much complete everything I start at this point, and stream pretty regularly on Twitch. Play a lot of trophy trash, however, and trying to play some better stuff though.
Okay, well we're all guilty of playing not the best, not the greatest of games for the odd trophies here or there. I'm sure there's loads of people in our community trophy leaderboard who will refer to those as the easy peasy ones, the ones where we just play them for just basically for the trophies, pick them up cheap in sales. Those are the kinds of things you play for the trophies.
Yeah, I do play those.
Yeah, we all do. We're a community of trophy hunters. We're not we don't judge. We're in it for the trophies. So guys, probably going to be a bit of a sort of one of our more tidier episodes, so to speak, one of our shorter ones. So we're just going to crack straight on and get right into it and talk about what we've been playing recently. And I tell you what, Unknown, seeing as you're our guest this evening, why don't you start off? Tell us what you've been up to recently.
Just finished Secret of Mana and Adventures of Mana, which I thought were really great games. Reminded me of playing games way back when. Secret of Mana did crash an awful lot on me. I will say that. But other than that, it was good.
Which one was the most recent one?
I finished. Like, what do you mean the most recent one?
I mean, like there was Secret of Mana, and which one was the most recent to release? Because I know one came out a few months ago.
Secret of Mana came out like February, I think, and Adventures of Mana came out last year.
Yeah, that's the one that's been around for a while. The one that's on PS4 and Vita was the most recent one, wasn't it? What did you play it on, by the way? PS4 or PS Vita?
I played it on PS4. I prefer to play things on on screens, if at all possible. Like even if I play Vita games, I'd prefer to play it on the PS TV, just because I don't know. I mean, I used to play Game Boys and handhelds all the time, but for some reason I just can't play an actual game on a Vita for a long time without I don't know, hurting my neck and stuff like that.
I totally get you. I understand. I mean, when I play my PS Vita these days, it's just I go for the really short, small kind of just pick up and play casual, if you will, casual kind of games. Besides, I think unless you're into the sort of JRPGs or the visual novels or whatnot, the days of like the PS Vita's sort of AAA long game, sort of like lengthy game experiences is kind of past now. You know, we're not going to be getting anything like Uncharted or Killzone or. I mean, the last sort of big game for Vita was Freedom Wars, wasn't it? That was like the kind of last really big kind of like game for it.
Let me see. I can actually figure it out, but I think there's other RPGs on that also are lengthy, but big as in like recognizable.
Yeah, like the one that they sort of made like the biggest hurrah about. I remember it a few years ago. I mean, not that Vita's not getting any games or anything. I mean, there's tons of games coming out. They're all mainly in the sort of aimed at the Japanese market, though. I mean, I was looking through the sale today, the Big in Japan sale on the PS Vita, and there's just tons of games on there. But personally, for me, I'm not really interested in any of those kind of games. So
I mean, I enjoy those types of games. I just don't. I play them on the PS TV if at all possible. Unfortunately, Adventures of Mana not PS TV compatible. Also, Cosmic Star Heroine was it's free if you had the PS4 version, and I am very bummed. I tried it yesterday, not PS TV compatible.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I was tempted
the
to
other
get
thing,
PS TV
the
a
strange
while
thing,
ago.
they don't make PS TVs anymore, right?
No, I was just going to say I was tempted to get one a little while ago because they dramatically dropped in price. They were like,
Yeah.
I've seen them ridiculously cheap in some places. You can get them for as low as like £30 or £25, just like really really cheap compared to what they launched at. But no, I don't think I'd ever play it. I'm happy with the handheld, you know.
Because
yeah, they stopped producing them.
Yesterday I turned it on. I mean, I didn't play anything for maybe a month or two on it, but I turned it on and there was an update. And I was like, "What? An update on the PSEV? Really?"
Yeah, there was an update for the Vita a little while ago. I think they're just like security ones, you know, just stop people from jailbreaking them, those kind of things, you know, where they don't actually add anything on the surface. Because it runs on the same firmware, doesn't it? The Vita and the PSTV are basically the same device minus a screen.
Yeah.
So if they're going to implement any updates security-wise, it'll be on both, won't it? Just to patch any potential, ways in for hackers and whatnot.
Custom firmware. The same thing happened on PS3. There was an update for it. I was like, "Whoa, what's the hell is this? An update? Whoa!" And updated it. Now I can connect online, but it was for custom firmware, just to prevent that from happening. But
yeah, that's probably the only reason they'd issue any updates for the old hardware now, is just to patch any little holes into the network. You know, because people are working on it all the time. I mean, PSP was infamous for homebrew and being jailbroken, so I guess they want to kind of prevent that from happening again. Vita's on its way out anyway, but I guess they don't want people having any way into like PlayStation Network and such, so, which is fine. It's for the best for all of us, speaking as a consumer. Anyway, sorry, we're going off on a bit of a tangent. Unknown, what else have you been playing, or have you just been concentrating on the Mana games?
I played those. I actually just started playing kind of consistently again a couple weeks ago. There was I think I didn't play anything for like 3 weeks, moving and whatnot.
Okay.
I played first VR game I played in almost a year, Hex Tunnel.
Oh, I saw you play that.
I'm not familiar with that, and anyone who's listening who's not familiar with that, would you tell us a bit about it?
Basically, I don't know, you put on the helmet and you move your head around to fly through tunnels and die a lot. Because every little crash, you're dead and you gotta start over from that tunnel. And
the way you described it, it sounds a little kind of like nauseating, like flying through tunnels and whatnot.
Well, it was particularly bad for me because I am not very. I don't have a very strong stomach for the VR. Usually, what I do is if there is a VR game, I will tighten the helmet and wear it as a hat, and then watch my TV screen. If I need to move my head, then I will move my head. But that's usually how I do it. This one, you couldn't do it that way because you just weren't accurate enough.
I'm usually all right nowadays with motion sickness in regards to PSVR, but I think games are just getting better at preventing it. But the only game that ever really made me feel really, really sick was I can't remember the name of the game. Now it was a game where you fly on the back of a big phoenix.
How We Soar. I was actually going to say that. That is the worst game I've played, VR wise. I mean, the game would be amazing if it didn't make me feel sick. I mean, it looked great and stuff. It's just the turning in the air is, oh man.
I'm glad I found someone who shares the same experience as me, because I had to like what you just described. Like I had to wear the VR. Basically, what I had to do is at first I wore it as on my head, as you said, but it lowers the accuracy. So what I had to do in the end was wear it, just have it in my lap and just look at the television, because if I put it on after 5 minutes, I felt like I was going to be sick. Just the turning and the environment moving around you, it's really nauseating. It's the worst. Like I've not had any other VR experience in such a negative way like that up until this point.
You guys are not selling me the VR on this.
The VR's fine. I can
know.
recommend you loads of good VR games, but just How We Saw is it really turned my stomach. Yeah, I had to play it with the headset in my lap just to get through and get the platinum for it. But like Unknown said, the game itself isn't bad. The game's really interesting. It's got a really interesting story about a guy's life. He's like writing a book and he's thinking about his memories and how he's gone through like rough times with his family and all that. But the way just the VR is just really bad in terms of like motion sickness. So shame really. If it was a game that had like non-VR support, you just like have your analog sticks and just play it in first person, that would be great. That'd be fine. An easy platinum as well, you know. But here we are.
Yeah.
Okay, so Unknown, is that everything you've been playing so far?
That's most of the highlights. I mean, I played Trophy Trash and stuff like that too. Metropolis twice, which actually wasn't a bad game. It was like a match 3, 4, 5, one of those things, kind of Candy Crush it.
That was Lux Obscura, right? Metropolis.
Yeah, Lux Obscura.
Oh yeah, I saw you last night playing it, and I was like, "This is an easy type of game," and you were frustrated just to getting like the badges on that game.
No, well, I think you probably left beforehand, but I had already gotten that trophy for the badges. That's why it wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't notice.
Okay, we'll moving forward then. Let's just push on. And Vec, why don't you tell us what you've been up to recently? What you've been playing?
Okay, so I've been playing a lot of God of War 3. I managed to beat like most of the bosses already, but I had a problem with my copy that it couldn't play past a certain point. So I tried and tried and tried, and when I figured out, it was like the copy was scratched or something. And
that sucks.
Yeah, and now I have to buy another copy. Luckily, it were like $5 each, so I could just easily go ahead and buy it.
What part What part couldn't you get past?
Okay, so
due to the scratch.
Okay, so there's a part in the game you beat Hercules. You go past. Go past that. Before you reach the next god, right there in like the labyrinth. I got cut past that.
That's so after Hercules, it's the labyrinth is oh wait, when you say labyrinth, do you mean the hedge garden or the actual labyrinth?
The hedge.
Oh, Zeus's wife, right?
Yeah, Hera.
That bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got
So get stuck on that bit, yeah.
Yeah, I got stuck on that bit and I can't go past that, so I decided, okay, I'm gonna buy another copy. So until then, I started Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham, which is an easy Lego game I wanted to play for a long time, and I was like, okay, let's take a crack at it. So far,
it's way bigger than I initially thought with Beyond Gotham, because you've got all the different lantern planets to visit. There's just so much to do.
I just started and I was like, okay, let's get out of the Batcave. Oh my god, there's so much shit to do. There's so many
there is loads.
The Lego games just keep getting bigger and bigger.
I love it.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I'm not too keen on the Lego games getting bigger and bigger, to be honest, because that's why I really like the Vita Lego games. That's why I always bought them, because I liked having that compact, sort of more linear. I mean, I know there was loads of collectibles in them and such, but with like the home console versions like Lego Marvel and Lego Batman, you know, there's just so much to do. It's just such a time sink, such a grind for the I mean, and especially 3 as well with all the different planets. Like, it takes forever.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it so far. It's one of my favorite Lego games at the moment. It's beats Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes by a long shot, especially with one of my favorite things you can collect in that game, which is you save. There's like a person that you have to save in each level, and in every single Lego game past, I think Lego Batman 2, I think, and instead of being citizens in danger, it's now Adam West in danger, and in each level there's like an Adam West you have to rescue, and I'm like laughing my ass off because one of the solutions for one of the puzzles is like Adam West is like in a boat and there's like a shark, and you have to use shark repellent in order to rescue Adam West, and it's like
there's loads of references to Batman the movie in that game because of Adam West being in it, and the rescue Adam West character is usually like in humorous situations, you know, like wacky troublesome situations, and that's where you have to rescue him. And also the 60s Batman levels are pretty fun in that game as well. They're really well made, really well implemented.
I've yet to play those, but I know that there's like a trailer in the beginning that you can play. It's like the box set for the 60s Batman, and it's like, oh my god, they really just promoted this. They tacked this on, but it's hilarious, and I'm loving it because there's Adam West in the game, and it's just fun altogether. But besides that, I've just started playing it, so I can't say much on it.
It's a Lego game.
Yeah, of course.
That's all you need to say, really.
Yeah, and
Collect them all.
collect them all. But the other thing I actually played besides that is I actually got the platinum for Little Big Planet karting.
Oh, you finally did it, huh?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh, congrats on that.
Oh yeah, I finally knocked that one out of the park. Thank you, Don, if you're listening. Thank you for helping me with the 25 wins. We'll get to that later on. So, now that that's done, I can actually rest and just help people boost with that game, and gonna be like easy for now.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
all right then.
That's everything I've been playing. So I guess it leads up to you, Daz. What have you
Well,
been playing?
as of as I said last week, I've been playing God of War, the 2018 one, the most current one. I actually finished the story only a few hours ago today, and yeah, awesome. I don't really know what more to say about it that I haven't said already. I mean, there's just ask anyone who's been playing it. It's just all the same kind of thing, like all the same positivity about it. Just the story, the acting, the visuals, the core mechanics, the gameplay itself. The combat, just everything is really, really good. I mean, it's not like a perfect game, but it's top tier, and yeah, now that I finished the story, I wanted to get the story done and dusted because not in a rush. I've had it since launch, since last Friday, so I've had it a week and a day now, and I haven't been rushing. I've been doing a few side missions here or there, but in the last few days, I've decided to stop wandering off on the map and going to side missions for two reasons. Number one, I didn't have all the items at the time. There's certain paths that are locked off, just like in any God of War game or any sort of video game in general, like of that sort of nature, where you have, different roads or different areas to go to, and you can't get to it yet because you haven't got the weapon. It relates, but it throws back to Metroid, Zelda. You can't go to a certain place because you haven't got the ability yet. So rather than sort of struggling and coming to a dead end because I don't have the weapon that opens door number whatever, I thought, I'm going to focus on the story. And my second reason for focusing on the story is I'm kind of sick of dancing around the spoilers now, because every time I go on YouTube, where I've looked up God of War in the past, for trailers and whatnot, the YouTube algorithms are putting basically spoiler videos into my feed, and I don't want it. Like when I'm refreshing my main feed, I'm getting them popping in, and like I'm having to quickly look away and refresh the feed to make the videos go away, because I don't want to. Because this goes into a big sort of complaint I have with like particular YouTubers anyway, like not particular by name, but like a particular type of YouTuber where they'll get the game early, they'll bash through it, and they'll put up the ending basically, and they'll have an image of the ending in the thumbnail, or they'll have a description of what happens in the title. And because of like algorithms and such, it just comes into the feed and it just spoils it for people. Even if you're like me trying to actively avoid spoilers, sometimes you just get them dropped in front of you. Someone likes a tweet that you don't even, from a person you don't even follow, and it happens to have like say a screenshot or a little snippet of a spoiler in, it'll pop up in your feed on Twitter. So it's hard to avoid spoilers sometimes. Even if you try your best, all it takes is one little slip somewhere and something's ruined for you. So I thought, let's just get through the story, get it done. It can't be spoiled for me. So I just focused purely on story, and now it's done. The whole map is now open for me to explore. Got all the side quests to do, all the collectibles to do, everything, all the optional fights and such to get the platinum trophy. It's going to take a while because there's a lot, but I've found myself a really good Power Picks walkthrough video for each region on the map, and I'm just going to take it region at a time, from the beginning, from the starting point on the map all the way to the end of the map. Just going to do it region at a time, get all the collectibles in each, move on. That's the way I do it when I play open world games with maps. I just try and focus on sort of sections at a time, like I've described before, when I played the Infamous games, I have the map in front of me on my iPad. I grid the image off, and I just tick off the collectibles in each kind of like district as I go along. So it's methodical, you know. And yeah, that's all I've been playing. To be honest, that's all I've been doing with my time the last week.
I sympathize with you with the spoilers on YouTube. YouTube has to have the worst way to spoil someone because, people post it on the first day. There's like a thumbnail, and even if you don't read what it's in the title, it's like the thumbnail itself spoils the entire game.
Yeah, that's precisely. That's why.
Have like some character that you're not supposed to meet until like way at the end of the game.
Exactly.
You know, like who the heck is that? Like.
Oh my god, it hurts. It's like final boss confrontation, like in exclamations and like the picture of the fucking boss fight. And it was like.
Exactly. That's exactly what I saw, but I only saw it like for a split second before I swiped away. It didn't reveal enough for me to like properly spoil it because it was quite a kind of like generic-y looking image. But like I went and saw Avengers Infinity War a couple of days ago, and up until that point I'd been avoiding using my Instagram, because when you go into the sort of discover tab of Instagram and you get, you know, posts generated based on your likes or based on people you follow, etc., etc. That is terrible for spoilers, because, like you said, Vec, you know, it only takes one screenshot and you can't unsee a screenshot. You know, you can't unsee an image. So I've been totally avoiding Instagram up until when I went and saw Avengers, and the sort of similar thing for YouTube. But I can't really avoid YouTube because I use it for a lot anyway. You know, just for like gaming in general and just like looking at vids of other games and like just entertainment in general for YouTube, you know. So I've been very careful with when I've been browsing around on YouTube, because it just pops up in the recommendations down the side of videos,
you know,
and whatnot.
Well, then the other thing in YouTube is unless you change the settings, it'll just play videos automatically. So if you're like doing something and then you're watching who knows what, like maybe just like the review of the game, like the non-spoiler review, and then you're, I don't know, playing some game while it happens, and then you don't realize it, and it just starts the next video, and yeah,
absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. These like algorithms that line up videos. And just on the subject of like spoilers on YouTube, like I used to subscribe to Loot Crate, you know, the subscription box where you get t-shirts and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And YouTubers, of course, like anything else, you know, have reviews and stuff on it, and they'd have unboxing videos. Now, I'm not tarring everyone with the same brush. People used to do it right, in my opinion, and people used to do it wrong. And now people who did it right will just show a picture of them holding the loot box. That is it. And it will just say, just for example, January's loot box, and that would be it. And then the people who did it wrong, in my opinion, is the people the thumbnail would be a picture of all the contents of the loot box. Now, when you ordered a loot box or any subscription box, it's a surprise. The surprise of opening the box and finding all these cool things that you get each month. Yeah. And when I'm just scrolling through YouTube and I see a thumbnail of all the contents, I'm thinking, well, fucking brilliant. Like, it's just been spoiled for me, you know, and I didn't even search for it. So this is a two-pronged thing. Number one, it's YouTube, and just, you know, based on your history, your searches and other stuff, generates videos in your feed. Yeah. And secondly, it's the responsibility of the content creators to do the right thing and not have a thumbnail with a spoiler. If you wanted to say like, oh, God of War final boss or whatever, you could just have like the artwork of the game.
Yeah, just something like to cover it up. Don't fucking put like the name of the boss fight itself within the thumbnail. Like, don't do that, please don't. If I ever go like into like spoiler territory, what I do is there's like the history. You can just delete the history and it will be removed from your recommendations list. That's what I do when I go like on YouTube. It's like, okay, how do I avoid spoilers? Okay, so I write God of War in the history. I delete everything that's named God of War in the history, so that the algorithm doesn't realize, oh, you must like God of War 2018, and that's how you fix it. It's like, that's what I've been finding out, and that's how I managed to avoid spoilers up to this point.
Well, that's pretty clever. I mean, I've been lucky. I didn't have God of War spoiled for me, despite the best efforts of YouTube's algorithms, and I didn't have Infinity War spoiled for me, which was awesome as well. Considering I'm very active on Instagram, and when I'm flicking through, like almost everyone I follow on Instagram is a nerd and into geek culture. So of course, I haven't had any of that spoiled.
I'm gonna say this. As of this recording, I've not played God of War, and I've not seen Infinity War, so don't spoil at all. No, I will not look at anything.
It's for the best. All right, so we've gone on long enough. I've rattled on about YouTube and my problems with it for long enough now. So shall we move on to the news section, Beck? So I understand it's similar to last week. We haven't got a ton of stories, but I think this is owing to the fact that E3 is on the horizon, and the lead up to E3 usually is at first quiet news weeks. Then we start getting the sort of pre-E3 announcements, and then to get all the sort of lower level announcements out of the way before the big show. So I think for the next couple of weeks it's going to be more or less the same in terms of stories. So lead the way, Vic.
Slow. Okay, but let's start off with our first news section of the week. The PS Plus lineup for May 2018. So,
indeed.
We got some games right here. So there's like 6 of them. We got Beyond Two Souls and Rayman Legends for PS4, Risen 3 and Eat Them for PS3, and King Oddball and Furmins for Vita. So, if anyone wants knows any of the games, can you please? I already got an idea of how they are. So.
Yeah, a lot of those games are very strange. Like, I didn't hear of them until the PS Plus lineup. I did play Furmins, though, which is also a strange game that probably no one heard of. I think I bought it on like a sale for like $1 a few years ago. I enjoyed that game. I actually enjoyed that game. It was a puzzle game, and I thought it was well made.
Yeah, it's like a Rube Goldberg type of game. It's like Don said, it's like a mobile game that it used to be. Like some of these are actually mobile games especially on the Vita titles at the moment.
King Oddball is alright. I actually have that on Nintendo Switch. It's actually like a mobile game. If I was to compare it to a famous mobile game, I would liken it to Angry Birds. You play as this kind of King Oddball. The what's in the picture, it's like a moon with a crown on it and a long tongue. And basically, what I assume from what I've played is this thing's invading Earth. You play as it, and it's like so imagine an Angry Birds level, except you're this moon in the sky, and you swing back and forth. Like it automatically swings back and forth. The tongue is is long, and it attaches to like a rock, a meteorite, whatever you want to call it, and it's perpetually swinging. And you have to press the button to release the rock at the right time. And like Angry Birds, the idea is to knock down a structure. And like instead of pigs in Angry Birds, it's like military tanks, helicopters. So you've got to basically just knock over structures to blow up the tanks and the helicopters. So it's basically Angry Birds. Instead of a catapult, you're just swinging a rock instead. And the idea is to beat them all with 3 rocks. You can, if a rock bounces back and touches you, you get it back as another throw. If it bounces back a few times, it turns into a gold rock, and it's worth more points or more stars at the end. It's just a fun little kind of Angry Birds style game, and the fact it's free is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what the trophies are like. I already have it on Switch, so I don't have any interest in getting it on.
It actually looks like I don't think there's a plat to it, but there are 3 lists to it, so you could play it 3 times with your free PS Plus. What?
Yeah, it's only on PS Vita, but there's like a PS4 and a PS3 stack. So.
Well, it says it's cross-buy.
Oh, it's cross-buy? I haven't seen that on the blog post. I only saw like the Vita.
I thought it said that. Maybe
I recommend giving it a go for free. Anyway, I liked it, and I mean, it was pretty cheap if I can remember correctly on Switch. And I just wanted it as just a time killer game, just pick up and play it. And so it'd be great on Vita in terms of like a pick up and play time wasting kind of game. But
yeah,
we'll just have to see how well it performs.
Yeah.
Because sometimes mobile game ports can be a little
iffy.
iffy.
Yeah.
Why not?
As for the other games are Risen 3 and Eat Them. Eat Them is basically a kaiju type game. You know, those Godzilla type, you create your own monster and you go around the city stacking points by destroying landmarks and stuff like that with your own like monster. And
Okay.
and it's like it has a comic book cel shaded style that looks very unique, but as Nick says, it's like it looks like it going to be like a bad frame rate. I hope not. I want to play it. It's on my list. I want to play that game because it looks like a game I would actually go out of my way to buy on the digital front on PS3 because it looks fun. As for Risen
Well,
3,
as for the, I've never heard of. I was just going to say I've not. I might have heard of Risen. You'd have to jog my memory. It's not coming to mind right now.
The name sounds familiar to me, but I can't really recall what it is.
It's a.
I want to say it's like.
Oh, sorry. You were saying?
No, go on.
Oh, it's a trilogy originally based on an Xbox exclusive that went multi-platform. Went to PC and went to PS4. I mean PS3, and then it got a port. The third game got a port on PS4, but they're only putting on PS3 only. And
What type of game is it then?
it's an open world game that you basically have to. It basically what if what if God of War was open world? The gods are dead in the third game, and you have to like go against the Titans, which are the new lords of the islands, and you have to defeat the Titans in order to reclaim. But that's all I know. I figured out the gameplay is mostly open world and has sailing, but it has like mixed reviews, so I don't know. Go in it with caution.
Well, as for the main ones, the PS4 ones, well, Beyond Two Souls, I see that's going to be well, it's a Quantic Dream game, and we've got Detroit coming out next month, haven't we? So that's some clever sort of marketing, really. But they tend to do that quite a lot with PlayStation Plus. At least on last generation, they used to like push out a previous game of that series, or by that developer, like they did it with Saints Row a little bit before Saints Row 4 came out, and they used to do it quite a bit with when a sequel would be on the horizon. And it's clever, get more people trying the game, or at least trying the series, and then hopefully it gets them interested. And it's worked on me. Like I tried Saints Row the Third, and I really liked that game enough to be excited and go and buy Saints Row 4. So
Yeah.
It does work for sure.
Well, I don't think Rayman is gonna get another sequel just yet, but Legends. Oh my God, Legends is great. I loved Origins. I would actually go for the platinum if I can. But
Yeah, those games are pretty good. I played them both on Vita, and tricky though. I didn't try for the platinum on either of them, to be honest, because I got really far in the first one. Actually, I think I got right until the we spoke about this before, Vec, a long time ago. The what was it called? The Livid Dead, the underworld levels
Land
in the
of
first
the
game.
Living Dead.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were like brutal at the end.
Yeah, I got all the way up to those, and I just had enough, and I just didn't play it after that, and eventually got rid of it. And then I tried the second game when it was cheap, and again I played it for a bit, and then I kind of got bored of it. But those games, they look really nice, they play really well, but the second game's got loads of content in it, hasn't it?
Yeah,
loads of mini games and such.
It has.
I just wish Legends didn't have all that online stuff that you had to do.
It's dreadful. It has like 30 friends. I think it was like leaderboards on 30 friends. You have
There's monthly targets or monthly things you have to do.
Oh no!
You had to get I think you need like a diamond rank or something for a trophy, which is like apparently there's a glitch. Like there's a glitched event or something that comes around like randomly like 3 or 4 times a year if someone's having difficulty with it, and it's glitched so that you cannot like there's a max amount of distance in some event that you can get, and it just like ends the game after that. So you're basically guaranteed to not be up against these people that are just amazing at the game. and you just need to get to that point, and then you should be able to get the diamond. From what I heard, I haven't personally done it, and you'd have to like continually check for when this event is going to occur. But apparently, that could be a solution if someone's having issues with it.
Oh well, that's
all right. Well, I think we've covered all of the games in this news story. So should we move on to the next one?
Yeah. The next one we have is the. Okay, so PlayStation fans, get excited, especially you guys on the NA's front. Capcom and Sega teamed up for a Humble Bundle. Now, if you don't know what's a Humble Bundle, Humble throws a monthly subscription-based or like a bundle of sorts with a bunch of games that you can buy for like very cheap. Goes around like from $1 to like $15 and has tier systems, which most of that goes to charity. So this month's we got Capcom and Sega teaming up for a PlayStation only sale for the Humble Bundle. From the bundle itself, you can pay $1 for Dead Rising on PS4, Dust Force on Vita, Crazy Taxi on PS3, and Super Monkey Ball Banana Splits on Vita. As well, for the average tier, which is $11, you can get Resident Evil for PS4, Mega Man Legacy Collection on PS4, Resident Evil Code Veronica X on PS4, Sonic Generations on PS3, Binary Domain on PS3, and Alien Isolation for PS4. And with that, if you pay $15, you also get Valkyria Chronicles Remastered and Dead Rising 2 for PS4, as well as a bunch of coupons like Resident Evil 7, Dead Rising 4, Valkyria Revolution, and Yakuza 0. So, if you got the money, you can go buy them. But the only asterisk is that only NA can redeem the codes. So...
Yeah, we don't usually get anything like a Humble Bundle in regards to like UK. I'm not sure about like EU in general, but Humble Bundle is generally a North American kind of affair, isn't it?
Yep. Owned by IGN, I think.
Yeah, they bought it a little while ago, last year.
So now you got that.
Yeah, I think when they do these PlayStation ones where they give you like potentially 15 games for $15, I mean, you're basically paying like $1 a game if you do the math tier or do the max tier. The coupons are new though. I have not seen that before. I mean, maybe they did it a while ago, but like when I bought the last one, I did not get coupons. It was just, I don't know. I saw those coupons in there and I was like kind of thrown off guard. I didn't expect there would be coupons in the Humble Bundle, but...
Yeah, for example, Yakuza 0 has a 50% off. Like, that's incredible for a Yakuza fan if you want to get it. The problem is, with the actual codes themselves, is that the codes are tier listed. So, the first tier has one code with 4 games on it. And the average tier also has a code with all the games on it. So if you own, say, Sonic Generations on PS3, you can redeem the code, but you will have Sonic Generations again. So if you want someone to have those games, you can actually go for them. Personally, I own only Alien Isolation and Sonic Generations. Oh, and also Crazy Taxi. But I could actually go $15 and I get like a bunch of games. Problem is they're only digital. So best to know about that.
Well, if they were available over here, that exact list, I don't think I'd be interested in any of those games, to be honest. I mean, some I already own, and most of them I'm not really interested in. So
yeah,
that's all I can really say about it.
The bundle ends on May 8th, so if anyone's interested, go ahead and buy it. I recommend it for anyone who wants to save up on the bunch of games they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final news story, yes?
Yeah, final news story is on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We got a new trailer teasing how the game would play and look. It looks At least the CGI trailer looks interesting.
Yeah,
But
just about that. Like, I don't. People get really hyped, but I can never ever get hyped about CG or live action trailers for a game. I just don't understand. I mean, I understand it's to create awareness and get people hyped, but unless it's like gameplay,
it's
and with in
never
engine.
looks like that.
No, you always get them like adverts on television where it's like like a CG trailer, and at the bottom in a little fine print, it's like not gameplay or representative of gameplay, and it's like, no, not really. Like they've even done it for like God of War. There's like the CG trailer, like I've seen on television. When I went to see Avengers the other day, they played it in the cinema as well, and it's not representative of gameplay visuals. I mean, God of War looks awesome, but it doesn't look like that. You can tell this is a CGI trailer, and I just don't think doing CG trailers is like worth it these days. We're at a point now where games look fantastic. Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, no doubt will look just as good, if not even better, probably better than the previous game. And that game and Rise of the Tomb Raider looked awesome, like especially on the enhanced consoles. Stuff like God of War, that looks awesome. Just when you get live action trailers and CG trailers, it's just a turn off for me. I'd rather just be seeing in engine.
It almost feels like false advertising in a way.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they put the little disclaimer at the bottom, not gameplay footage, but it never really does it for me. I'd rather, like I said, actually see something that's in engine to get hyped. I mean, I think they did in engine stuff like Uncharted 4 when it was on television, because that looked awesome. I don't recall them doing CG trailers for that, but some games do it, some games don't, and I just don't really see the hype around this Shadow of the Tomb Raider trailer.
Especially now that they revealed a bunch of stuff. So first of all, they revealed that there's gonna have like how many 6 editions of the game, and it's just
Six editions. How do you get 6 editions?
6 editions of the game. Let me pull
different tiers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're different tiers. Give me a moment to pull up the actual the editions, because it's like, no, I don't want any of these. So there's the deluxe edition. I mean the standard edition.
Start at the beginning, Vec. Go from the basic and then work your way all the way up.
Okay, we got the standard edition game, which is the game itself, base game and all. Then we get the deluxe edition, which includes the DLC and the game itself, as well as some other cosmetic stuff. Then we get.
What are the prices on these?
Oh, we haven't got any price. They only revealed the editions.
All right.
We have the Craft Edition, which includes a different box art for the game, as well as other DLC for all of it. So then we have the Digital Editions, which is the Digital Deluxe Edition and the Digital Craft Edition for people who want to buy those. Then we have the Steelbook Edition for the game, which does not include any of the DLC, but it includes the Steelbook. And then we have the Collector's Edition for people who have, a statue, the game itself, bunch of goodies, some other stuff. They only revealed it, and it's just there's so many editions of the exact same game.
If I was interested, I've gone on record to say I'm not interested in Tomb Raider games in the past, but let's say hypothetically speaking, I was interested in this, I'd only be getting the standard plastic box edition, because I've made it clear on my Twitter and on here in the past, I just think it's all crap. It's just all just rubbish. Basically, you get a statue that 9 times out of 10 is pretty poor quality, and it just collects dust. Now, the 1 time out of 10, you do get some really good statues or figures or collectibles, but most of the time it's just stuff like stickers, key rings, I don't know, just junk basically, the kind of stuff where you'd go into like a game store and it's just there along the checkouts for like impulse buying, just crap. Just bundled in, and steel books, like, they're nice, but they still do the same thing as a plastic one, and now they're like pushing it into the digital ones as well, like the digital editions, like, but it's just an intangible digital game. I understand if you're paying more because you're getting a statue and a metal case and art books, but when they're charging more for the digital stuff, I don't know. It just confuses me that like it doesn't exist. Like it's not tangible. It's not something you can put on your shelf and show off. You just pay. You just paid more for basically the same thing.
Oh,
Like edition with the standard digital edition. You get a few. Oh, you get a few more costumes or a few more weapons, but whoop-de-doo, you know. But let me just say, it's your money. You can spend it however you like. Okay. I'm not trying to deliberately rain on people's parade. If you're hyped for this, good for you. Okay, your money, you do you. But for me, no, it is an absolute pass.
My favorite thing about this is like the calendar they revealed for everything they're gonna do for the game itself. So they also revealed a sort of Mayan calendar because the theme is Mayan. So they have from April to the next year's April a bunch of stuff. They have revealed trailer, meet the development team, the gameplay, the experience or Woman's Master Wild series, which is kind of random, the Gamescom gameplay trailer, the game launching on September. Then we got October onwards. It's like DLC Pack 1, DLC Pack 2, DLC Pack 3, DLC Pack 4, DLC Pack 5, DLC Pack 6, and DLC Pack 7. That's the rest of the calendar.
Does it tell you the dates on the DLC? The specific dates?
No, it's only like a general month. It's like in October, it's like DLC Pack 1, Challenge Tomb, Weapon, Outfit, Skill, and Narrative Side Mission. And it's like that for every single one of them.
Or when you say like listing off all these different DLC packs, all I'm thinking is in my mind is if I had this game from like around the launch window and platinumed it, all I'm hearing when you're describing this DLC is, oh great, that's my trophy list dropping down another 10% every month.
Exactly. I'm kind of that way too. I don't like to play the games until pretty much all the DLC is out. For the most part.
I've seen reactions on this and it's like, okay, first of all, people are now looking forward more to Spider-Man, which is great, which comes out exactly around the same time window. Second of all, it's gonna have poor sales when it comes out because people are gonna expect the definitive edition coming by the same year for lower prices. And people who play this game like day one are not gonna get the exact same experience as people who get the next year. So this is like a definite pass for most people, like I've seen so far. So
yeah, there'll be a definitive edition with all of this included next year. So like them selling you the DLC, so to speak, like piecemeal is not very attractive when you know that in about a year or 18 months or even less, depending on the sales of the game, we'll all be in one package. So it happens. We spoke about this loads of, I don't know, about a good couple of months ago about Game of the Year editions and definitive editions. It's when we now know that this is a trend that just seems to always happen with big games. It's less incentive to buy a game at launch, because like patches and problems with games aside, waiting for the DLC just doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I know the idea is they're trying to keep you playing the game, keep you holding on to the game, not trading it in if you've got physical, holding the interest. But yeah,
not only that, but the DLCs are usually ridiculously expensive, and then when you get the Game of the Year edition you're basically getting it all free if you want to look at it that way. I mean, I guess it would jack the price up probably to $60 or whatever from the 30 or whatever you could pay for the standard edition at that point. But
unknown,
like some of these DLCs are like $15-$20 for like 2-3 hours of gameplay.
But unknown,
most times when you buy a Game of the Year edition or definitive edition, they're usually around just the standard price of the game. So you are right, you're practically getting the DLC for free. And definitive editions go on sale generally even quicker than the original retail version did. You'll be getting definitive editions in PlayStation Plus sales and such. So this is not saying like don't buy the game. It's just like these are trends we've seen for quite a few years.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, like, isn't it just easier just to buy the season pass for like $20? It's like, no, it's not even worth that. It's like, if you want this
This
game, just
A
buy
lot of
the
times you don't even know what you're getting in the season pass. It could all just be,
the mystery box.
yeah, cosmetic things that you don't really care too much about, and
No, I don't
Yeah,
want.
this is sort of why I'd like the like kind of artificial demand that the publishers kind of like put out. It's like, you must buy this game now at launch, but not really. There's no rush to buy a game. You have like I say, you could say like kind of peer pressure, so to speak, like from the community. You see on people on Twitter talking about it, excited about it. Again, if you want to buy a game at launch, absolutely fine. You do you, buy the game, enjoy it, awesome. But personally, like, I don't ever really feel huge incentive to like buy games at launch, really. Like, especially like the like AAA third party ones where you've got all the DLC and whatnot. Sometimes it's just best to wait. Like, it depends on all your budget and whatnot as well. Some you might be able to go out and buy a couple of games on launch day at full price. Other people might not and have to wait. But there is no rush to play the latest games right now. You just play at your own pace, buy the games you want to buy, have a look around in sales, save yourself a bit of money, do what you want.
Yeah.
There's never a rush. It's an artificial demand, so just keep that in mind when you're buying games.
Yeah, and also if it's just a game you want to buy, just find the game that you want to buy. Don't play all the games and pre-order all the games that you may or may not like. And also, if you don't have the budget for it, don't go out of your way spending on it. Be smart about it. Try to buy games that you want to play and games you'll actually dedicate your time with. Like,
Sure. I mean, we're getting a bit preachy here, and this is just from experience. Basically, we've all had experience, and just to go back just a couple of moments, when I was talking about the collector's editions, I'm only speaking from my own experience. If you like buying collector's editions and statues, like I said, I just want to reiterate, I'm not deliberately being negative to shit on them. If you like them, buy them, enjoy them. It's up to you. But me, I've had bad experiences with collector's editions. I've been disappointed loads of times, and I have sworn off them because I personally think they're a waste of money for me. So I will speak negatively of them because I've had bad experiences with collector's editions. So I just buy the regular editions now, and when I'm done with them, I trade them in, and the money goes towards the next game. That's how I do it. But you do you.
But no, you got any sense on this, or?
I personally never buy collector's editions. I never have. I actually cleaned out, when I was cleaning out to move, I found a bunch of free things that I got from games like years and years ago. I was like, what is this? Oh, this is some Castlevania like art book that came free with the game that I pre-ordered when I was like 10. Like, I don't know. I never, it's always just get the standard game if, like, usually on sale. I very rarely buy things right when they come out. Yeah.
The money I save not buying a collector's edition, I will put towards buying like a really nice figure from a game. So like the Play Arts Metal Gear Solid figures. If you're on the Discord, you may have seen me post a picture of them once before.
Yeah.
I have a collection of the Play Arts Kai Japanese Metal Gear Solid figures. Now, no, I'm not bragging, but they're
Humble
not cheap,
brag.
right? Humble brag, they're not cheap. But the money I save by not buying collector's editions have gone towards buying, in my opinion, really nice merchandise for video games, So I'm just saying, I'd rather save the extra £40 not buying a crudely painted plastic statue to having a really nice set of figures or figure on my shelf, which I can really appreciate, So money saved is spent elsewhere.
Still, one of my favorite pictures is like someone posted the collector's edition of God of War, the statue with the one that had with Ascension. Wow, the new one, the God of War one looks better than the Ascension one because the Ascension one looks like Kratos has like longer limbs for some reason. It has like 4 extremities. Let me see if I can actually Let me see if I can actually pull the picture up. But it's hilarious looking up the picture. It's basically Kratos looks like looks so stretched with the collector's edition, and the other one looks so much better. But if I can find a picture, I'll definitely put it up. But
Well, while you're trying to find out, I'll tell you one of the collector's editions that like got me off of collector's editions was the Batman Arkham Asylum one. It came with a batarang, which was on a stand, and when I it didn't have any descriptions on what it was made out of. It just said replica batarang on a stand. So in my mind, the optimistic part of my mind thought, oh, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like metal. It's gonna sit on a stand. It's gonna be awesome. And when I got it, I was so disappointed. It was just a plastic piece of crap. It was hollow, and you couldn't take it off the stand either. So I was just so disappointed, and that alone just swore me off collector's editions. It was just crap, you know. And I was actually
stand to play with the batarang.
No, you can't. You can't take the batarang off the stand at all. Like it's glued to it, so you can't even like play with it. Like if you wanted to just go outside and try and throw it, you can't. It's got a stand glued to it. So
well, it's plastic. You could cut it off.
You could, but it was glued on it, so it would just end up snapping it because the plastic was crap. It was hollow. It was like really hollow, cheap plastic. Like I can't even think what to describe what it would be made out of, but it was rubbish. And the same goes for like I had a faint interest in getting the collector's edition for Fallout 4 that came with the Pip-Boy, but then after watching some reviews for it, my interest was gone because it was like it weren't great. You know, the plastic wasn't great. It didn't look very nice. You had like where you could slot your smartphone into it, but it only supported some smartphone models, and it just forget it. So I'm not.
I put up the picture of the God of War statue side by side on the channel.
I see it. Kratos is Ascension. Kratos has got the smallest little head. It's tiny.
It looks like he's squatting. He has like super long legs.
His feet are bigger than his head. That God of War, the God of War 2018 statue looks nice. Okay, I'll give them that. It's got a cool ice frost effect across the axe, and you've got the two characters and you've got the enemies there. So yeah, fair enough. That's nice. I would buy that on its own. Okay, I wouldn't get that with the game. If they sold that on its own, yeah, I would be open to buying that. But that Ascension one, yeah, that's.
Yeah, it's like he could squat like 2,000 pounds if his upper body wouldn't break from that.
Holy shit! The head looks so small, but his fucking thighs look like they're.
His thighs look like they're as thick as his waist. Like his thighs as thick as his like abdomen. Shit. I tell you what, if you want good video game figures, check out. I've said them before on this podcast, but check out NECA, NECA. They do really, really good figures. And I was looking at actually, Vec, you saw me tweeting about it the other day, didn't you? And you commented on it. The new God of War 2018 NECA figure.
Oh yeah, it looks
is
so
around
cool.
soon, and I want to get that. They make. I've got loads of NECA figures. I've got like Dead Space. I've got a Kratos NECA figure. I've got Nathan Drake from Uncharted 4. I've got loads, and they do really good video game figures. So, you know, in my opinion, save your money. Don't buy collector's edition and buy yourself some NECA figures. They do loads of games, so just check them out. I recommend them. They're really cool figures.
I saw that NECA figure and I actually commented. It's like, it looks so lifelike. If you put it side by side with the game, I would say it looked exactly like the game. If it wasn't for like the limb popping out, it's like.
Yeah, it has like a joint. You could see it was a toy because it has a joint on the shoulder. Is what Vec's trying to say. Like you could see that it was like a toy. But yeah. So anyway, I think we've dwelled on this section long enough. So let's move on, shall we, to our next segment?
Yeah, exactly.
We've gone on long enough about
collector's editions.
bad collector's editions. Okay. Now onto our Tricky Trophy segment, where we look back through our trophy collections at some of the most challenging, rage-inducing gameplay, or just plain boredom and grinding we've had to endure for a single trophy. And Unknown, would you like to lead this segment and give us your Tricky Trophy for this week?
I guess Hoarder from Uncharted 3.
Okay.
Because you had to get a ton of artifacts, and like you had, I don't know, I remember grinding out certain areas in that for like hours, and then you had to go get to the area with the enemy that potentially drops it, and even that took some time.
Okay, so explain what's the trophy description? What's the requirements?
You had to complete what was it, the antiquity set or something, and you had to collect a bunch of medals that dropped from enemies, and you had to keep farming the enemies to get the medal or get the artifact to finally drop the treasure. That's what they're called. And took a while, and you had to also do it in co-op for a lot of them. Like a lot of the story mode trophies, you needed 2 people to start it. I actually did end up doing most of it with only 2 people. You could do it with up to 3 though, which would make it easier, but then you also had to take more turns because you had to, if it dropped, only one person could get it. I thought that's how it worked.
Okay, so
sorry, what game was this? I missed you saying at the beginning.
Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, the PS3 version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You talking about DLC?
I found it. It's the Artifact Treasure Set. It's the longest DLC, the trophy on the DLC, which is collect at random with the drops, random rare treasures from each set.
So that's where I lost you, because I didn't understand we were talking about DLC, because when you were talking about like co-op and all of that, I was thinking like that's why I had to ask, like, when you were talking Uncharted 3, it's a single player game. So when you said co-op, I was a little lost there. I didn't play any of the DLC or anything for Uncharted 3. I just played the base game.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like the DLC in that. I mean, there was so much DLC. I mean, I remember I planted the game, and then they released so much DLC. I think my completion in the game was like 51% or 49%, something like that. It was, and almost all the DLC trophies are like bronze or silver too.
Yeah,
so
this one is silver.
Okay, all right then. So yeah, DLC trophies. We've talked loads of times about this in previous episodes, and just how both DLC and multiplayer trophies are the worst. But together, DLC multiplayer trophies, like, the same thing. Oh man, and for them not to be very rewarding and it to be like random drops, it just sounds like a nightmare. So I'll go next. I'll be in the middle of this one. My tricky trophy this week is from Rocket League. Now, I haven't played Rocket League on PS4 for ages. I have it on Switch, but I haven't played it on PS4 since it first released on PS4, because it was offered up with PlayStation Plus. Thought I'd give it a go. It was on PlayStation Plus, and I really enjoyed it and ended up getting platinum for it. But one of the trophies that took a little bit of creativity, and we actually did a section on this, I think maybe an episode or 2 ago, which I'll explain. So the trophy is called Far, Far Away. Drive a total of 50 kilometers. Now, that is a lot, but when Rocket League first launched on PS4, this was a glitch trophy, but a glitched for the better trophy, because the trophy actually popped before 50 kilometers. But nobody knew exactly where it did. It was kind of random. Like, people didn't actually clock exactly where it was popping, but it was definitely below 50 kilometers. You can see your total distance traveled in statistics or whatever. But yeah, it was basically just like kind of random. But it's still a long way to travel in the game, considering that the pitches aren't like huge. So what I did is I put it on a training mode with no other cars or characters or anything around, and I just rubber band the controller. And we were talking about rubber banding the controllers last episode, I believe it was. So I wish I actually did this tricky trophy last one, but I only just thought of it today. But yeah, I rubber banded the controller so the car would just basically turn on. I had to rubber band the analog, and I had to put some what's it called? I don't know what you guys would call it, but over here it's called blue tack. You know what you put posters on the wall with? The kind of like gummy stuff?
Sticky tack, I think is what.
Sticky tack, yeah. The little kind of like Play-Doh. You put it on a poster on the wall and it doesn't leave a greasy mark or anything. That kind of stuff. What I did is I kind of wedged it into the trigger of the controller on the accelerator, so it stayed down, and I rubber banded the analog to one side, so the car would just do donuts more or less. And I just turned the TV off and went elsewhere. But because I didn't know exactly when the trophy was going to pop, even though I would go quit out the game, check the statistics if I was anywhere near 50. But they fixed it. I think actually, I can't confirm this, but this is just off the top of my head. But I think they changed the trophy. I think I think it was originally 60 kilometers. I'm pretty sure they lowered it, actually, the requirements for the trophy. I remember that in the back of my mind. If you could find that out, Vic, while you're there.
Let me see. It's
but I'm pretty sure they made it even. They definitely fixed the bugginess of the trophy, but I think they may have reduced the requirements.
I think they reduced it, but it says like from 5,000. It's only 50 kilometers now. Yeah, they got the.
I'm pretty sure it used to be
500.
Oh yeah. I'm right. Yeah, I'm here on PSN profiles. I just found it myself. Note: when the game launched, official description of this trophy used to say drive a total of 500 kilometers, and it was said that for several months after the game launched until it was updated to say 50. During this time, it was thought that the game was glitched, and you only needed to get about 70 to 80 kilometers, 44 to 50 miles. With the same pair of wheels to unlock this trophy. If you reach 50 kilometers and still don't get this trophy, keep the same pair of wheels. Yeah, it was about the same pair of wheels as well, so that was annoying. But yeah, so it looks like it's so for what I'm gathering here, it says it used to say drive a total of 500 kilometers, but it was 50 all along. It was just a typo. It wasn't glitched. Huh?
Typo? That's miraculous typo.
Well, it says here when the game launched, the official description with the trophy was 500 kilometers, and it said it for several months after the game launched until it was updated to say 50. So it looks like that perhaps it was always 50, but it was a typo in the description and it said 500. At least that's what I'm getting from this note here.
That's a happy accident.
Possibly. I mean, there have been. I have discovered other trophies in the past in different games that have typos in the description, for the better or for the worse. So, well, it could have been glitched as well at the same time, because it says here that the trophy would. During that time, it was thought the game was glitched, and you only needed to get about 70 to 80 kilometers. So maybe it wasn't glitched. Maybe it was originally always 50 kilometers, but it was a typo. I don't know. But anyway, it was annoying. It was an annoying trophy, and I needed to rubber band it because there's no way I was going to do it. Getting the platinum was actually really easy on that game. You could get a lot of the trophies in the training mode, at least when it first launched, and probably still now because I think the base trophy list is still the same. So
Yeah, well, you could actually get a lot of the DLC trophies in training as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of like do certain things in certain arenas or win a match on this one arena.
Yeah, it's definitely a very doable platinum, and the game's really fun anyway.
It was a really good game. I really liked it.
Yeah.
That's why I bought it on Switch as well, like because I really enjoyed it, and it's just a nice casual game. And when you get a good team of people, you can actually talk to on chat as well. You can have a lot of fun playing that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vec, what's your tricky trophy for this week?
My tricky trophy comes from the Little Big Platinum, which was the last trophy I needed, which was Online Champ. Placed first place in 25 different online levels with other human players. Now, the first half of that description is very easy, like get first place in 25 different online levels. Something simple. But then the next half happens, and it's called online play, other human players, and then you make that trophy list so much harder for yourself by accident, because the online trophies in that game are not helpful in any way. So this trophy has a 3.17% on PSN profiles, which already says a lot for an online trophy. So the problem with this trophy is that the server connectivity between players is god-awful. Like, you can connect to the levels just fine in karting, if you have the physical version, by the way, but between players, it is a stroke of luck. You have to have the best luck in the world in order to connect with those servers and have at least a round of each level. And since it's only 25 levels that you have to play, you have to connect with that person 25 times, and that could go from at least an hour to 5-6 sessions for at least 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, you've spoken many times in the last, in the build up to, the server's going down, isn't it, soon? So you've been putting a lot of effort into trying to help people with platinum, and with a service that's going down soon, it's not exactly going to be the best service and the best community. So it was always going to be a struggle, wasn't it?
Yeah, now that I have the platinum, thank you, Don. I think you're listening right now. So thank you so much for getting me the platinum. And I hope you actually got the platinum as well. It's now stands as one of my rarest trophies on my collection. So
Nice.
oh my fucking god, no, let's never talk about this game again, because the last thing I want to know is just having boosting problems with that game. So I'll be helping out as much as I can, but that's about it. So
Excellent. Well, that's a good place to leave it then, if you never want to talk about it again. So that's all good. So that, guys, brings us pretty much to the end of the episode. So just before we move on to wrapping up and everything, Beck, is there anything you want to add about the server or anything about your boosting?
Well, we do have an update on the Trophy Trust. We just recently gotten the 100 people subscribed to the YouTube channel. So congratulations, guys! We did it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks to everyone who continues to listen and supports us. It's nice.
Yeah,
nice that we've reached 100.
Yeah, now for next up, 200 and 1,000 more. Yeah. So congratulations, guys! We did it. So
awesome.
Thank you for everyone who's listened and supported us. Nice. Besides that, I think the server has some updates regarding some new updates with spoilers and stuff.
Oh yeah, of course. We now have in the Discord server, we now have a spoilers section. So at the moment we've only got a few different categories. We've got God of War, we've got Avengers Infinity War, and I think we have Westworld, because we're also covering television as well. Now in the spoiler section, the way it works is you have to ask us for a role so you can see the room. So people can't just wander in there by accident and have things spoiled for them just by accidentally clicking on the room and they're in there reading it. You have to ask for a specific room role. So if you want to get into the God of War room to talk to other people about God of War spoilers, you just request it, we grant you the role, and you can gain access to it. And we keep all the spoilers in there, and that way it stays in there and people can talk about the games they've played. Or like I said, we're doing movies and we're doing television shows as well. So yeah, it's been going down pretty well, actually. Since seeing Infinity War, I've joined the Infinity War room, and I'm going to join the God of War room shortly as well, now that I've finished the game, and we can just discuss it in there and not spoil it for any other people. We also have so we have boosting rooms and just general chat rooms about games. So like, for example, God of War. So people can talk about God of War, but not talk spoilers. And then we have a God of War spoiler section in the spoilers category where people can discuss the story in depth without ruining it for everyone else. So, yeah, it's just another new section.
Yeah, and also we have a new platinum board section, which is of course made. Thank you for Nomad for doing this. It's for anyone who wants to post their platinum count in there. Just host your PSN or profile link, and we'll put you on the list. So it's just the total exact number that you've collected throughout the whole your whole career, PSN career. So
bragging rights, basically.
Basically. Yeah.
All right. Well, unknown. While you're here, do you want to plug your Twitch and what you do?
I guess Twitch is just my PSN, Mr. Unknown 65. Trying to maybe be a little more active on Twitter, which is the same thing, Mr. Unknown 65, and the YouTube might happen. I'm still unsure of that.
Okay.
I started a channel. I got 3 videos up that are just basically Twitch things, but it's also Mr. Unknown 65.
Okay. Well, on that moment, then I guess we can sign off with our Twitter handle. So, Vec, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @DVectronic. Where can people find you, Daz?
Thank you for asking. You can find me on the Twitter at @TheDazil. So, thank you for listening. As always, you can find our episodes on our YouTube channel, The Trophy Trust, which has just passed its 100 subscribers mark. Thank you very much. Please support us there by subscribing for future episodes. You can also find updates on our Twitter at The Trophy Trust, which now I'm mentioning, Vectronic has decided to spearhead that, and we're going to be a lot more active on that now and get more retweets and get more involved.
Yes.
So, I'd like to say personally thank you to Vec for taking charge of that.
No problem.
I've tried to, I run it sometimes. I post the links to the new episodes of the Trophy Trust podcast, but Vec's taking it under his wing, and he's gonna make it even more active. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
In the profile there, you can find a link to this Discord server, the PlayStation Trophy Hunting server, where, if you haven't already, you can join our ever-growing community of gamers and trophy hunters. If you enjoy our show, please consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. We're strictly a non-profit podcast. However, server hosting costs need to be paid to keep us on the air and to keep all of our episodes available to you. This has been the Trophy Trust. Keep on hunting. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.